Finding a job that's a good match can be a long and analytical process. The pathways for people with significant intellectual disabilities to find jobs is no different. Crystal Qual looks into what it's like for people with a wide range of developmental disabilities to find a paying occupation.
Emily Paulson has been working at Calix's laundry facility since 2006 on a part-time basis. She says she likes the drying portion of the job better than the folding. What do you do with your money?
Go shopping.
Her pay specifically is based on her productivity. She's working alongside people with various levels of ability and some without disability. Borky Beeler, CEO at Calix, says their aim is to offer employment that's a good fit for the person, either in-house or in the community.
Anybody with a disability, it could be an extra challenge to find the right job that works for them.
Margaret Meckley's job history includes a custodial contract with Minot Air Force Base, jobs in recycling, a bakery, and other Calix facilities. Then, with the help of a staff member at Calix, she had work trials at several places until Moose Lodge offered her a part-time job with regular wages.
Because I like the people there.
Beeler says the transition from sub-minimum to regular wages isn't always seamless because sometimes they run into obstacles. Every case is different. She says they use Calix's working facilities to understand what works.
I've got lots of success stories of people working for full wage employment, either with support for another employer, or on a business that Calix owns or a contract.
Beeler says they spend weeks to months going through a discovery process, searching for partners in the community and figuring out what thrills and motivates the person with specific needs. In Minot, I'm Crystal Qual reporting for your news leader.
Calix is currently supporting more than 50 employees working throughout Minot, and around another 50 to 60 are working on Calix contracts.